Well, welcome back, guys. How was your summer?
Gina, go ahead. Tell us about your adventures.
Did I have adventures? I don't even remember. Stuff. I don't know. I nothing particular. Just I think maybe a little bit of comedy and a little piece of acting and lots of parenting.
And a meeting at the White House, I think.
Oh, right. That.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh, I keep forgetting me and Kay. Yeah, so
Vice-President Kamala Harris. Yes,
that would be.
You want to bring that up.
Right. I forgot that I wanted to bring that up. Yeah, I did meet with Madam Vice President. I'm an election judge, so she met with a few of us and wanted to get our opinions and ideas on voting rights and thoughts on how we could impact change. So, I met at the White House, and that was really fruitful. So I'm excited to see if she takes any of my personal advice. And I think I'm not the only one who's like, and the filibuster. So I tried, to relay a message or two, but we'll see. Yeah.
But did you think to interview her for the Tom Myers podcast?
I mean, I'm sure. Like, why wouldn't she? She's my girl now.
I think she wants to be president someday. So, although I imagine this podcast was a great stepping stone to get that meeting.
Oh, you think this is the thing that they play in the other commercials? She saw fit to appear on this podcast with this man. Is she fit to be president?
Yeah, good times.
Gina, Abby, how about yourselves?
Oh, all good. Yeah, I had a reporter call me from a newspaper to talk about how I feel about voting rights and are they doing what I want them to do. So we'll see what happens with that. That'll come out this week or whenever he writes it.
Are you going to be quoted as saying, well, my friend Kamala and I?
Well, he was there. He was there at the event. He's like, yeah, I was there at the event. And is it okay if I, ask you some questions? And I was like, yes. So we'll see. Yeah. So good times.
In order to get what they feel is an accurate assessment of the American people's psyche 100 days into Biden's term, Fox sent a reporter to, of all places, Orlando to get the voice of the people, as we can hear in this clip.
If you had to rate Biden's first 100 days on a scale from 1 to 5 being the best, you would rate him what?
Suck.
Describe why suck.
It's un-American. It's absolutely un-American.
1.
Why?
Because I like Trump better.
Is that my only choice, 1 to 5? Because my real answer is minus to the infinite degree.
An 80.
An 80? Wow, why?
Because I think he's come through on some issues that are important to the public.
Like what?
I think he's writing checks frivolously. I have a business background. I don't know how he's going to fund all of this. Just keep giving people free things and they're going to just want more.
Let me see what I think. I didn't hear his speech last night.
You can either be given free stuff or become free. You got 2 choices. That's it.
He's calm and he doesn't lie.
I think he's trying, but I think his actions speak louder than his words in terms of dividing the country.
Yeah. Well, if you don't see somebody for 100 days, how can you even rate them?
That first guy, like mentally, he's like that kid who gets excited because he's just gotten the chance to say a really bad word on TV. It was almost like the grown-up version of kids say the darndest things. I was like, oh, and what does your dad do? Fart!
That's Tom. I know that this is an audio podcast, so a lot of your listeners would be surprised to hear that most of the people there were 70 or over. But it's interesting to me, as someone who's closer to that age than anybody else there, to hear some of these dopes complain about free stuff when they when they're living in Florida, spending their Social Security money and going to the doctor on their Medicare and their Medicaid B plans. So it's fine for them to have taken it, but not somebody who's younger or poor or didn't have the life experience that they did.
And by their definition, Jeff, they are not free.
They're not.
Right. That's right. They earned it.
You can either get free stuff or be free, said one white guy on that clip.
Right. Versus the other white people on the clip in that diverse city of Orlando. I even the woman who attempted to be smart, who said 80, like, was the scale 1 to 5?
Yes.
I was like, oh, sweetie. And now please support that with something that makes any kind of sense. But she was still thinking and worried. Also, what is this free thing? I've gotten some COVID rapid tests I didn't have to pay for. Have you gotten anything else that's free? Because I want it.
So what checks is Biden writing? I'm sorry. He's just writing all these checks. Says woman with vague business degree who prefers the guy who had multiple failed businesses.
Right.
I'm still stuck on the fact that I heard him say, how would you rape his performance? And I was like, wait, what? Did anybody hear that? I was like, oh, what? Rape. Okay. But to be fair, it's edited very, very unfairly. You know what I mean? I'm not so sure I could answer. I certainly could not answer a question about Biden's first 100 days and sound intelligent whatsoever. So there's just, I can't. And they're asking people on the street, come on.
I was confused by if you haven't seen somebody. I live here and I don't bump into Biden walking up and down the street. And I live where I could see him. I'm 5 miles from the White House. But so I don't know what that means, because I don't generally see people who are truly working. Like, these are, even think about people in whatever profession we're in. If they're really working, we don't just see them having a coffee somewhere. We don't see them. So I don't know what that meant.
Sit down and talk.
So you and Kamala haven't kept in touch, basically, is what you're
We haven't, and I met her. I met her last summer, but we haven't. And I'm so close. I'm even closer to her because the vice president's residence is only 3 miles from me.
Which Gina brings up a very good point. What has she been doing for the last 100 days? We haven't seen.
I have no idea. Surely not working or having coffee with me.
What you also
I met
had,
Elizabeth Warren, so yeah.
but Tom, what you also had there is indicative of what that channel does. If somebody said something bad about President Biden, there was no follow-up. There was no probing question. Or you don't like the checks he writes. What checks particularly don't you like? But the person who liked President Biden received multiple follow-up questions.
She did.
Yeah.
And they literally found the worst pro-Biden person possible. Like, that's sort of par for the course for that network.
Right. That's why they edited her back in 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.